Good morning, welcome to CADX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, March 19th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to CADX TV. It's cold again in the northeastern U.S., and in fact, tomorrow there may be as much as 5 inches of snow on the ground here in New Jersey. Tomorrow is also the first day of spring. Yesterday, in a speech in London, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, the UK equivalent to the Secretary of the Treasury, outlined plans to transform London into a leading hub for global insurance-linked security business. The Chancellor, George Osborne, gave a final budget speech before the general election scheduled in May. He said that turning the UK into an attractive domicile for ILS business is a stated aim of the 2015 budget. It's hoped that the UK will compete with more established domiciles such as Bermuda and the Cayman Islands. The announcement followed Osborne's autumn statement last year, which suggested that the government was looking to bring more reinsurance business into England. Deep within today's or yesterday's budget document lies this commitment, quote, to take the ILS business forward, building upon the UK's position as a world leader in the global reinsurance market. The government will work with the industry and regulators to develop a new competitive corporate and tax structure for allowing insurance-linked securities to be domiciled in England. Global reinsurance, the government announced in the fall, will have more import insofar as business to the UK. The alternative form of reinsurance, i.e., insurance-linked securities, makes greater use of capital markets and is a key growth opportunity for this sector. This is news that if it was read 12 or 13 years ago would have resulted in people being thunderstruck. London is the center of the traditional reinsurance model with Lloyd's, and here is the Chancellor of the Exchequer flatly stating that he intends to bring London into a head-to-head competitive position with ILS hubs such as Bermuda. It's actually quite remarkable. In Yemen, in the ancient city of Aden, there's been a long gun battle at the main international airport between forces loyal to the former president fighting against the regime-controlled military that's guarding the airport. It's unknown whether or not any planes have been damaged. The only actual report of a plane being damaged is the current president's 747, which was sprayed with machine gun fire. The airport, of course, has been closed, and passengers who had boarded a flight to Cairo and were waiting on the tarmac were rushed off the plane and back into the terminal building. Residents in Queensland, Australia, specifically the north coast around Cooktown and Hope Vale, are bunkering down as Tropical Cyclone Nate is bearing in on them. It's expected to hit the coast sometime tomorrow morning as a Category 4 storm. The meteorologists are warning that certain areas could in fact experience Category 5 winds. These would be winds in excess of 160 miles per hour. People from Cooktown to Cape Melville should prepare as if they will receive the inner core. This is according to the Premier of Queensland, who also said that anybody living in homes constructed before 1984 needs to seek refuge in cyclone shelters immediately. Residents in the firing line stacked up on sandbags, water, and alcohol ahead of the storm. Alan Burton, who runs a liquor store in Cooktown, said he did a day's worth of business in the space of 1 hour. He said, quote, there will be some hangovers in town, no doubt. Here's here are a group of people who already have hangovers. These are thousands of travelers who have been stranded in Germany as a result of a pilot strike by Lufthansa pilots. The strike began yesterday and was expected to really only affect domestic flights. However, Lufthansa ended up canceling 84 of its 153 long-haul flights today. Some 80,000 passengers have been affected. The pilot union has implemented sporadic strikes over the past 18 months as they're protesting cuts in payments as Lufthansa is trying to compete against low-budget airlines. The Minneapolis-based department store Target in the United States has proposed to pay a $10 million settlement to settle a class action lawsuit broadcasted following a massive data breach in 2013. The retailer said the funds will be kept in an interest-bearing account. Individuals affected by the breach could receive payments of up to $10,000 each. As part of the settlement, Target is going to appoint a chief information security officer. It's going to keep a written information security program, and it's going to offer security training to its workers. It also must maintain a process to monitor for data security events and respond to such events deemed to present a threat. It's interesting that somebody had to tell them to do all those things. Global bankers Credit Suisse and Goldman Sachs are set to collect a combined transaction fee of up to about $49.5 million for financial advisory services if the proposed $11 billion merger between PartnerRe and Axis Insurance successfully goes through. Goldman, which is acting as the financial advisor for Axis, will get a $19.5 billion lump sum, and PartnerRe has agreed to pay Credit Suisse perhaps as much as $27 million if the deal goes through. In Indianapolis today, just this morning in fact, there was yet another series of underground explosions in the downtown central area, flipping a number of manholes. Indiana Power has turned off electricity to a large portion of the downtown area. This is the second time this week that an explosion has been reported. At least 13 other explosions have been reported in downtown Indianapolis over the past several years. What is going on in Indianapolis? That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.